I found out they forgot my birthday on a Sunday. The sun was dull, one of those pale mornings where even the light looks half asleep. I was making coffee in the small kitchen of my studio apartment, the kind of place where everything echoes a little too much. The kettle whistled, and I poured it over instant grounds because payday was still 4 days away, and real beans had become a luxury I rationed like forgiveness. My phone buzzed, a muted vibration against the scratched counter. Aunt Elise posted a story. I tapped it out of reflex. What I saw didn't register at first. Just balloons, streamers, someone yelling off camera. Then the camera panned to a cake, pink and white, iced cursive letters. It's a girl. Congrats, Bree. And Josh, I blinked. Bree, my cousin, Josh, her boyfriend of less than a year. And the whole family, my whole family, standing in a semicircle on the lawn at Aunt Elise's house, all cheering as Bree popped the confetti cannon. Someone handed out plates, paper ones, the kind with little pastel clouds and rattles, printed on them. My name didn't appear once. I swiped through the rest of their posts, and then I scrolled back, looking for yesterday's date. My birthday. Nothing. No stories, no texts. Not even a lazy HBD on my timeline. It was the first time in 28 years that no one in my family said a single word. Not even Mom. Later that day, I opened the cabinet under my sink and stared at the unopened gift bag. I had bought it a week ago, pale lavender with gold foil writing. Welcome, little one. Inside was a white crocheted blanket I had ordered online, the kind my grandma used to make. It arrived late and cost more than I wanted to admit, but Bree was having her first baby, and I thought, maybe this would make me feel part of it all again. I took it out, held it against my chest, then shoved it back in. They remembered her baby, but forgot the daughter they already had, the niece, the granddaughter. I thought about the last conversation I had with my mom. Don't be dramatic, May, she had said over the phone. It's just 1 year. Everyone's busy with the baby plans. Bree's worked so hard. So have I. It's different, she snapped. She's creating life. I remember going quiet after that. Not because I agreed, but because I realized how little my own life seemed to matter to them. At 7:41 p.m., the exact minute I had been born 28 years earlier, I lit a single candle I found in the drawer. No cake. Just a dry muffin from the week before and an old matchbook I saved from the bookstore cafe I used to work at. I stared at the flame for a long time. It flickered in silence. No calls. No missed messages. No one knocking at the door with a surprise. Not like when I was younger. Not like when I used to matter. The last birthday they celebrated for me was my 25th. A sheet cake from the grocery store. Balloons that said, "Congrats," because they forgot to buy birthday ones. They made a joke of it. I laughed too, because that's what you do when you're the one always understanding. That was 3 years ago. Since then, I've been forgotten more than remembered. I blew the candle out. Not for a wish, just because I was tired of pretending. There was a moment, maybe 2 years ago, when I thought things were finally starting to shift. I had just started my first full-time job. Nothing glamorous, just admin work at a mid-sized insurance office. And I remember calling Mom on my lunch break to tell her, "You'll have benefits now, right?" she asked. I smiled. Yeah, and paid time off finally. That's good. Bree's been exhausted lately. Maybe now you can help her more. It was always like that. Every win of mine got redirected toward Bree. I used to justify it. She was younger, life hit her faster, got pregnant at 21, dropped out of college. The family called it a rough patch. I called it a second mortgage I didn't sign up for. The worst part was, I did help. Quietly, relentlessly. I gave Bree my old MacBook when hers died during a nursing course she never finished. I babysat her daughter on weekends, unpaid, so she could catch up on sleep. I paid for half the venue deposit for her engagement party last year, even though they broke up 2 months later. I told myself it was just money, just time. I still had my apartment, even if it was small, and the walls were thin enough to hear the upstairs couple argue about laundry. But now, as I stared at my bank app, -$37, it felt heavier. Like all those little withdrawals from my life had finally tipped the scale. Not one of them even noticed I had nothing left. The email came 3 days later. Subject line, "You've been invited to Bree and Josh's baby registry." I stared at it like it was a joke. They had remembered to add my name to a list of expected gifts, but not to wish me happy birthday, not even after the day passed. I clicked the link. It opened to a pastel-colored page filled with soft rattles, organic cotton onesies, and overpriced bassinets. Each item had a name next to it: Aunt Elise, Grandma Diane, even one from Bree's ex-best friend Jenny. But next to the 180 monitor it said, "May has claimed this item." I blinked. That must have been Mom. She knew my Amazon login from back when I used to help her order books. I never changed the password. They had logged in as me, selected a gift, assigned it to my name. I wanted to laugh, but the sound never came. Instead, I changed the password. Then I removed my name from the item. Then I closed the page. That was the first boundary I laid. A silent one. They wouldn't even notice it. Yet, not until the gift didn't arrive. Not until they checked. But it would start there. Quiet refusal. I didn't owe them more just because I was used to giving. It came on a Thursday. A soft beige envelope with gold trim, tucked between a utility bill and a pizza flyer. No return address. Just my name in sharp cursive. For a second, just a second, my heart paused. Maybe someone remembered. Maybe it was late, but heartfelt. Maybe Mom felt guilty. I opened it on the kitchen counter, slicing the envelope open with a butter knife because I don't even own a letter opener. Inside was a pastel card with cartoon elephants. The inside read, "Join us for a magical afternoon to celebrate Bree and baby. Nursery decorating party. Saturday at 2 p.m. Snacks, crafts, and surprises. No signature. No handwritten note. No, hope you can come, May. Just another generic call for service. Like I was a contractor. A volunteer. Like I was the help. I set the card down next to the water bill I hadn't paid yet. It stared at me, loud and pastel and proud. I didn't cry. I don't think I had tears left for them. Instead, I picked it up again and dropped it in the trash. Not dramatically. Not spitefully. Just quietly. Like brushing hair from your face. Like ending a sentence. Flashback. The letter I never sent after. College? I got into a graduate program in Chicago. Full ride. Counseling psychology. Something that felt like purpose. I remember printing the acceptance letter out. I held it up, proud, showing it to Mom in the kitchen while she was making dinner. She barely glanced at it. "Chicago's too far," she said. I'd call every day, I offered. We need you here. Bree's struggling with the baby. I can't do it all alone. I deferred my admission. Just for a year, I told myself. But 1 year turned into 2. Then the funding lapsed. Then I just stopped applying. They never asked why I stayed. They just expected it. Like I had nothing else waiting for me. That acceptance letter stayed in my drawer for years, folded neatly beneath a stack of receipts and resumes. I never told Bree about it. Maybe because I knew what she'd say. You're good with people anyway, May. You don't need a degree for that. Like potential was something optional. Like my future was flexible. Saturday came. I woke up early, like always, out of muscle memory more than motivation. The air was cool inside the apartment, filtered through the faint hum of the radiator. I watched the light bleed slowly across the ceiling, soft and unbothered. It was the day of Bree's nursery decorating party. I didn't get dressed. I didn't reply to the reminder text from Aunt Elise. Hope you're bringing your creativity. Today! Bree wants a lavender moon theme. Lavender. My favorite color. Always had been. They knew that. I think they did. But somehow, when it was for Bree, it never felt borrowed. Just repurposed. I made oatmeal. Added cinnamon. Lit. The old candle stub still sitting on the windowsill from my birthday. The wax had hardened into a strange, cratered shape, half spent and lopsided like me. By 1:48 p.m., I was curled up on the couch under a blanket I had crocheted myself. Something just for me. No registry, no applause. The voicemail came at 3:12 p.m. May. I don't know what to say. Everyone was asking where you were. Bree was really upset. Do you know how hard she's trying to include you? This was important to her. To all of us. You've changed. You're being selfish. There was a pause. Then the final blow. Don't make us choose between you and the baby. I stared at the phone in my lap, blinking at the audacity of it. The baby that hadn't even arrived yet, had already outranked me. I let the voicemail end. Didn't save it. Didn't delete it either. Just let it live in that in-between place. Like me. Things I did instead. I swept the floor. I organized my bookshelf, pulled out every family photo and slipped them into a shoebox labeled MISC. I took down the string lights Bree gave me 3 years ago. The ones she bought with my own gift card. I found my old journal from 2017, the year I deferred grad school. Inside was a list of cities I wanted to visit before I turned 30. Only one had a check mark next to it. Portland. That trip I had canceled, last minute because Bree needed help moving. I wrote another city beneath it. Lisbon. No context, just a place, a maybe. It felt like planting a flag in an undiscovered corner of myself. No registry. No RSVP. No permission asked. It was raining the morning I went to the storage unit. Not the cinematic kind of rain. Just a gray drizzle that settled into your collar and stayed there. My boots made small sounds against the concrete, the same way my heart did in my chest. Unit number C12 still had the sticky note I'd left on the latch last spring. Open before August. I never did, inside. Everything smelled like old cardboard and faint regret. I stepped around a broken lamp I never liked, and a box of throw pillows Mom gave me during my first move out. On the back wall sat the dusty blue suitcase I hadn't touched in 4 years. The one I almost used for Chicago. I ran my fingers over the handle. It stuck slightly when I pulled it up, like even it wasn't sure I should leave this time. But I was sure now. Inside the case was the old acceptance letter still folded neatly, and beneath it, my passport, an unused travel journal, and a crumpled list of things I never got around to doing. I sat down on the cold cement floor and started adding to the list. Not dreams this time, just choices. Lisbon, book one way. Change my number. Tell no one. Not out of revenge. Not to prove anything. Just to take back the voice I kept handing over in exchange for approval that never came. The last message. The next morning, I got a group photo from Aunt Elise. It showed the nursery, pale lavender walls, gold stars, a name painted across the crib. Isla. Bree stood in the middle, hands over her belly, glowing. The caption read, "Thank you to everyone who made today so special." Everyone. I zoomed in. I wasn't even tagged. I scrolled past it. I didn't open the family thread. I didn't answer the 3 missed calls from Mom later that night. Instead, I clicked confirm on a booking page. Departure, 2 weeks from today. Then, I opened my email and typed exactly 13 words. I won't be able to attend the shower. Wishing you all well. That was all. No apology, no explanation. I hit send, then I deleted the registry invite, and the nursery party flyer, and every voicemail that ever started with, "You're being dramatic." Closing scene. The seat I gave myself at the gate. I sat by the window, watching the lights blink on the runway. I thought about the seat that wasn't saved for me at the last birthday dinner I attended. The way I had stood in the kitchen, waiting, holding a slice of cake I'd bought for myself, while the others sang to Bree's daughter in the dining room. That was the night I knew. I could never shrink enough to be small enough for them, so I made myself a seat now. Not in their house, or their table, or their stories. Just here, in this quiet row, next to my blue suitcase, holding my name, holding the version of me that never asked for permission. I didn't look back when they called final boarding. I didn't need to.